Welcome to X1T Gaming, and together we're going to revolutionize the gaming industry. So we're going to continue on today with the Prototype 3. I'm going to try to make it a little bit of a shorter day. I'm going to learn how to try to figure out this YouTube stuff, organize it a little better for you guys. Maybe I should put descriptions. um, but yeah, so there shouldn't be too much going today. We just got to prevent the player from double jumping, make an obstacle and move it left, and create a spawn manager. Then spawn obstacles at intervals. So that's pretty much it. We know how to do the spawn manager, so that's going to be pretty quick. I'm not going to look at the videos for that. And yeah, I'm going to do we'll watch the video for the jump force preventing the player from double jumping, because now I'm looking at the stuff and we got a bool, B-O-O-L. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I don't think we've done those before. And so I want to learn that one, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, so it looks like it goes together with kind of like an if statement where you could say is on ground equal true, and yeah, so okay, I get what's going on in the code. It's kind of cool actually to like be able to read code. So let's just show you what I'm looking at right here. So this is the code that we're going to be putting together. So this one right here. And let me see if I can fix this. Boom. Okay. Here's the code. So we're going to be adding bool is on ground equal true, and if input key down key code and is on ground. I want to listen to this guy because I want to learn why you say and, like there's two instead of this one. And then it goes RB add force, vector up, times jump force, and then you go force mode dot impulse, which we already have. We already have this little part right here. Just add is ground on ground is the new one, and then do a false statement if it is not on ground. And the collision on collision enter. So yeah, so I want to go through the video to look at this stuff right here. I kind of vaguely get what it's doing. I don't, but I want to see if you'll be able to explain why it's doing that. Yeah, and then the other stuff, I don't think we need to go through the videos because we already have all that stuff. Yeah, so it should be a quick video today. Okay, let's use the force.
So we've made it so that our player can jump in the scene and they look so excited. Look at them go. But a funny little thing that you can do is because we're just looking for whenever the spacebar is down, the character just goes up. In fact, if we just keep pressing spacebar, our player will just fly off into space. It's very fitting. And then eventually they'll come down. But I think we've actually applied too much force. So we need to actually fix that, and we'll have to use some of our coding skills to do so. So in our player controller, we're going to create a new variable. And this one will be public so we can see what it does. And we're going to use something called a bool, which is short for Boolean. We'll get into that in a bit, but for now we'll call it is on ground so that we know the player is on the ground. And we're going to set this equal to true. Now, a Boolean value is another kind of data type. Just like an integer is for whole numbers, floats are for decimals. A bool is simply a value that holds true or false. This is particularly useful whenever we have our conditional statements that are trying to check if something is true. So what we can do is, in our if statement, we can actually add some code in here. So, for example, when the spacebar is down, this condition is true, and it'll add the player force to make the player jump. We can use two ampersand symbols, which if you hold Shift and press 7 twice, this means and then if we type is on ground, so this means that whenever the player is on the ground and whenever they press the spacebar, we'll then apply that force to make them jump instead of letting them be able to fly off into space. One more thing that we're going to add in our if statement is when the player jumps, we're going to set is on ground to false. So now in our update function, we'll know that when the player jumps, they're no longer on the ground. And so therefore, because is on ground is false, this entire statement will not be true. And so it won't let you actually jump again. The only downside is that we never actually set is on ground back to true. So we're actually going to use our collisions again. So since we have a collider on the player and we have colliders on the ground, we know that when the player touches the ground, that they've entered the collider box for the ground. So if we type private void on collision enter, and conveniently Visual Studio auto completes for me the entire method, so I don't have to write all of that out myself. So whenever the player enters a collision with something, now we can set our is on ground to true. Now if we save this and we go back to Unity, and in our scene view we'll bring our focus back to the player and we'll get a better angle. There you go. So we can watch this is on ground variable down here, this Boolean, and right now since it's true, it's checked off. We know we're on the ground. And when we press space, is on ground is unchecked. When we land back on the ground, is on ground is checked. So it's another good reason to jump for joy. Cool. So now what you're going to do is you're going to create your own.
Okay, so what I got from that is on ground is true. Okay, so it's just saying that this thing is true. So it could be whatever it is true. And so we're just like, if input key and is on ground, then it's going to jump up. It's going to jump up and then turn it false. So it's not like that this is on ground is false now. It's just that because we put and is on ground and it becomes false, this code becomes false. So if I take this part out, I could jump once and then it will forever be false. And so then here's the on collisions enter, which this is good. So it's like collision on collision. Because the ground is a plane, so because this plane right here has a collision a collider, and this one has a collider, and they're interacting with each other and they hit each other. So as soon as it hits it, now this statement becomes true. And so therefore you can now jump again. And it's a cycling kind of thing. That is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I got to think about how computers do stuff where it does it. So that's it. It doesn't need to, yeah, you just assume that it goes back, but it doesn't. You have to say, no, I need you when you go back, you gotta do this. So you gotta look at both things at the same time. That is pretty cool. The bool goes really good with the if statements. I might want to go back to one of my that modifier and maybe try a bool in that one. Yeah, it's okay. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, so we want to make an obstacle and move it left. So from the course library. So we go to the course library and then we go to obstacles. And then add an obstacle and rename it obstacle. So what kind of obstacle do we want? A barrel, a crate, a rock boulder, a barrier, a spool, a stone wall, or a tree log. There wouldn't be tree logs in the city. We're a businessman. Um, let's look at what these barriers look like. So we got like that barrier. Don't replace. We got that barrier. And we got that barrier. Wait. Which one do I like? What's this one? Nope, you won't find those in the city. You could maybe find crates in their city. Barrel, maybe. Stone wall. No, you would never see those in the city. You definitely won't see that. What's a spool? Maybe. Okay, I'm going to go with barrier 2. Barrier 2 seems to be the most. Let me kind of set this up there. Okay, barrier 2. Boom. Now we have our barrier. Okay, now we got to add a rigid body to it. Right, so now it's going to interact with the stuff. This is just easy. And then we need to add a box collider. Box collider. Okay, then edit the collider bounds to fit within the obstacle. Okay, boom. Okay. Oh. Let's undo that one. Okay. And then let's see the x-axis. We want to make this a little bit wider. Let's set axis. We'll have to fix that. Okay, so we don't want that to be too much like that. Okay. Oops. Where is it? Is that it? Okay. And then we can make this a little wider. We just want to make sure that wherever we place our guy, that he's going to get it, because we're going to be looking at it from this view anyways. So it's not like the depths is going to really affect our gameplay. And do we want to make it as his trigger? No. Okay. Now we want to change the name to obstacle. Did I spell that right? No. Up. Stop. Where did it go? Obstacle. Okay, and it changes there, which is good. Okay, now we want to create new prefabs folder in the assets. Create new folder, call it prefabs. Okay, create a new prefabs folder and drag it to create a new original prefab. Okay, and then we get the obstacle, we drag it, put it in there. We'll go original prefab. Okay. Nice. Okay. Create a new move left script. So we need to make a script to make this move left. So we'll go into our scripts, create a new C# script, and we're going to call it move left. Just like that. Yeah, I don't know why I gotta do that. It's gonna come up now. Yeah, it uploads this, but doesn't add that one in. So what we want to do is we want to add a private float. Private float, and we're going to call this one speed, and it's going to equal 30. And then what does he want? The transform dot translate it's a capital. Translate. It's going to be the vector. Vector 3 dot left. And this is going to times time dot delta time dot delta time, and then we're going to times the speed. Don't forget this at the end. And so we're just going to have this keep on moving left, and I think that's what the script wants. We press play, and it should just keep going left. I screwed up. Oh. Because I did not put it on obstacle. Okay, there we go. That's weird. Move left. Spelling, always check your spelling. I'm actually really pleased with Visual Studios. So you saw that just moved all the way there. And yeah, so we finished this one. Now we want to create a spawn manager. Okay, so we're creating a new create a new spawn manager empty object. Okay, so we want to create a new object. Yeah, create empty. Create empty, and we're calling this one spawn manager. Okay. Okay, and then we need to make a spawn manager script. Create spawn manager script. Spawn manager. Okay, is this one coming up, or do I gotta do the same thing over again? No, I gotta do this again. Close it. And spawn manager script. So so declare a new private vector 3 spawn pose. When you think, okay, so we're in the spawn manager. Okay, so we want to make public game object with these ones. Oh, no, we don't want these ones yet. Game object, obstacle prefab. Obstacle prefabs. No S. And then private vector 3. Vector 3. Spawn pose. And this one's going to equal a new vector 3, which we will put at 25 on the x-axis, 0 on the y, and 0 on the z. Boom. So in the start, we have to do the instantiate. I think instantiate was the create kind of thing. Yeah, that's what it meant. I think that's what it meant. Was the yeah, you just create it. Obstacle prefab dot transform dot rotation. Okay, I want to see. So you got the object instantiate, and so you got the object, which is your original prefab. Okay, and then you got the transform parent spawn pose, which is spawn pose is where they're spawn position. So that's going to be like where they're transforming from, and then bool instantiate in world place. So I think it's going to be transform.rotate. Oh, I guess you're getting everything. I can't remember the rotate part. Why we do that. Okay, so that's the new script. Okay, wait. Declare a new private 3 vector spawn at your spawn location. In start, instantiate a new object obstacle prefab. Then delete your prefab from the scene and test. I might need to watch the video. Did I save that? Double check. Save. Yeah, so spawn manager. Go here, and then the we want to do we want to do the, I think it was the prefab we want to do. Boom. Okay, let's see how this works. Okay, so it worked, and then now we go and mark next, and then we want to do it at intervals, and this is where we're going to do the invoke repeating. So we got to do that in there so that we do the invoke repeating. Okay, so private float, and this one he wants to call start delay. So I notice he uses a lot of the same terminology, which is pretty good, so that you kind of understand what's going on and you kind of remember what the stuff is, and so that other people can see it as well. Repeat rate equals 2. Okay, so he wanted to get rid of this one. But first, let's create a new void object. So we go void, spawn obstacle, this, and then this, no, and then this, boom, new obstacle. So what we want this obstacle to do is we want this one to instantiate, boom, do this, control, paste. So this is what it's going to do. It's going to instantiate this, and then we can get rid of this, right? And then we want to do the invoke repeating. Invoke repeating, and with that we're going to do the double spawn obstacle, and this one will be the start delay, and this one will be the repeat rate. Then boom, I am getting this. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that I'm getting this. Like I don't get me wrong. Like I'm reading it and I'm looking at it, but like it's more of it's just clicking in my head of what it's supposed to do. And so now we see one that comes in every 2 seconds. But that is awfully fast. We're probably going to rotate it, change the speed later. But that's it for today. We got all that done. Let me just change the speed of it. Let's go to, I gotta go to the spawn script. No, the move left script. I didn't make it public. Let's make it public for now. Public float 30, save. Now we could actually see the obstacle rate. Let's try 15. Bring it in half. We gotta do the override supply all. And now let's see how it goes. Boom. Yeah, no, that I think is a good rate. So now let's delete the obstacle. This one, we can delete it. Don't need it anymore. We press play. We see our object coming. We have enough time. Oh, there we go. Boom. Boom, we got this. Yeah. And after a certain time, we're going to have to do the deleting thing. Make the world whiz by. An hour and 10 minutes. But yeah, no, so that was pretty good. We didn't do like the whole half hour. Oh, repeat background. Oh. So I think what we're going to do for the background. Wait. Wait, what? Okay, so we're going to be going to do this with the background so it looks even better. Okay, okay. Yeah, we'll probably do that tomorrow. Or yeah, we'll start that tomorrow. We'll start the background tomorrow, watch a little bit of videos on how to do it. But yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with what we've got so far. Um yeah, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have to go here and then destroy the object after like so many seconds. I think, what was it? Destroy game object. Oops. Destroy game object, and then we want to have like a delay of, let's say, 10 or like 15. Does that work? Got the objects coming. Okay, that might be too long. Let's do 4 seconds. Because they come up every 2 seconds. There you go. Oh. Not there you go. Oh yeah, no, I think what I did to fix that. I did that. Nope, that didn't work. So we'll just go back. We'll figure this out later. So I remember we did this. Oh yeah, and we had to create an if statement. If yeah, it was an if statement. So if does game object work on this one? No. So yeah, no, we could do that later. I remember where it is. I gotta look at my thing to put it there. Um, but yeah, no, I'm just kind of I can't really memorize these codes just on the top of my head. I should probably get there. But I'll get there eventually. But until then, let's kind of go back. Okay, and then we'll save. Yeah, no, we'll call that quits for now. You'll remind us what it was later, but that's fine. So we're getting this down, and I like having these scripts because I could read them, see what they do, and then I could see how to fit it in on my end. And then when I actually get my own game started, we will kind of like copy and paste, get the stuff, and as long as it works, it works. And whatever we don't learn from these fundamentals, we can try to figure out on Google Sensei. Okay, so that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow again at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be doing that every day for the next 90 days. Yeah, till the end of April. Okay, see you guys tomorrow.